Hi guys, so we are on day 4 of the flats and hand washing challenge, and today we are sharing our wash routines. So I picked up my wash routine through watching a bunch of YouTube videos for people who did the challenge last year and years past, as well as some tips and tricks that I read on the Facebook group for the flats challenge. So my routine is probably very similar to a lot of people's you will see, but so far it has been working really well. The flats have been coming out smelling super fresh, so I'm really happy with it so far, and I don't find that it is too much work, although it is sometimes challenging to fit the washing into the day just time-wise if my son isn't cooperating with his nap or something. And today is a very hot day, so you will see I'm glistening, but behind me here is where I'm doing the wash today. I also have my real washing machine running, which seems a bit ironic, but I'm doing regular laundry behind the camera as well. So I'm just going to share my routine. I'm partway through the middle of it because I didn't realize we were supposed to be recording our routine today. I was thinking it was tomorrow, so I will just tell you what I do and then pick up where I've left off here. So I have alternated actually between washing in my laundry sink here and in the bathtub. I do prefer the bathtub, but I was having issues getting my 3-year-old to nap, so I decided it would be best to not cause any more noise upstairs, so I'm doing it in the sink here today. So I have just been using a bucket here. This was just purchased at Lowe's, I think, for like $3 or something. And then I have a dollar store plunger here, and I've been using these rubber gloves, which I already had, just so my hands don't get all torn up from the wooden handle, as well as so the detergent doesn't super dry out my hands. I do take the gloves off for the final wring out just because I feel like I want to feel if they're slimy still from the soap. But what I do is I will go ahead and put my gloves on, and then for the first cycle I throw just the flats in, not the covers, and I fill the bucket until everything kind of churns around pretty well like this. I'd say it's about 3, maybe 4 inches above the diaper level, just so I can feel that I can still get a good agitation here. So this is for my pre-wash cycle. Then I put in like a half of a tablespoon or so of just original powder. This is what I use for my regular diapers in the washing machine. So I throw in a half a tablespoon of that, and then I have been plunging about 100 times, or in the neighborhood of 5 minutes. I sort of just go by feel, but so I'll do 10 plunges in all 4 quadrants here, and then I'll do 1 in the middle, and then I do like 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, and then I do another in the middle, and then I sort of just plunge a little bit more until I feel like it's close to 5 minutes. And just to get an idea, as you're plunging, you'll see that the stuff is kind of churning around, like everything's agitating really well, and that's what you want to see. So you want to see things turning over. You don't want to see the same thing. You want to be looking at, like, for example, this cover. It should be going to the bottom and coming around to the top. So I will do that, and then I let the pre-wash soak for about 10 minutes. 10 to 15, and then I'll come and I dump it, and then I wring out everything, all the flats. I wring them out so that the pee water is out of them. Then I fill the bucket back up with hot water. I add a heaping tablespoon of Tide Original powder. Then I throw in my covers, and I agitate again for the 100 plunges, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm currently at the cycle here where I let it soak for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will show you what I do next. I'm going to be dumping it out and doing my rinse cycle. Alright, so my wash cycle is now done. My timer went off, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do. It helps if you put the right glove on. Put my rubber gloves back on, and I'm just going to go ahead and dump out sometimes I'll agitate it a little bit more. Sorry you can't really see in here super well, but I'm not a very good videographer, so I'm just agitating it a little bit more. And now I'm just going to dump out the bucket. bucket up there. And then I'm just gonna sort of wring all the soapy water out of these things here into my sink. Put them back in my bucket here. They don't have to be super wrung out, I've found, because I'm just gonna put them in the water again. So I'm not gonna be wringing them like I would if I was gonna, when I hang them to dry. Just kind of getting as much water as I can quickly get out of them. All right. I'm gonna put my bucket back in, and this is just gonna be, I'm just gonna fill with warm water now. Do like a warm rinse. All right, I think we're good. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and plunge. This is the exact same way I plunged for both the pre-wash and the main wash. So now I'm just gonna plunge again, agitate for 100 plunges or about 5 minutes, and just to get all the soap out. So okay, so you will still see a decent amount of soap at the top, but it does sort of, you can still see into the water now, and I don't worry too much about that because I'm going to be rinsing each item in the sink before I wring it out, so I figure any remaining soap will get rinsed out in the sink or in the tub when I'm doing it in the tub. So again, not worrying too much about that. I'm just going to dump out the water and rinse them out, wring them out, and then I'm going to hang them on my drying rack outside, hopefully, if the weather is nice. Got my bucket to the side. And this is where I'm going to take my gloves off. I put lotion on after I'm all done just so the detergent doesn't dry out my hands too much, and I've been okay so far. So I think if I did it all the time, I probably would be more careful with the gloves and the detergent. I just take everything, rinse it out in the sink here, and then I'm wringing it while I rinse. Usually I try to do like a warm water. I feel like that rinses stuff out a little bit better. One thing I was doing with the covers when I was drying them inside is rolling them in a towel. I saw that tip from several other people. They dry much faster if they've been rolled in a bath towel before hanging them, but since I'm taking them outside, it's a really hot and windy day today, so I'm not worried about them drying, so I'm just gonna put them on this guy and bring them outside. I'm gonna wait to put these up there until I have these wrung out so I don't get dripped on. So I'm just gonna rinse these and wring them out, and then I will bring you outside and show you how I'm hanging them out. But when I wring them, I'm just gonna show you how I do one. I've rinsed it out so that when it feels clean and without any soap, and then I'm just wringing it really, really hard until there's not any water dripping out. And then I just take it and snap it. Somebody else did this, and it seems to kind of straighten out all the wrinkles. And then I'm just draping it over my washer probably until I take them outside. So, all right, so it is a super hot and windy day out here today, so I'm just gonna show you how I hang them on my drying rack and how I secure it so that it doesn't blow over, because it did several times before I figured out this trick. We'll see if it holds today. This is not the best drying rack. If I had purchased this myself, I would get a different one. It is super light and just doesn't work all that well. Then I do have clothespins to prevent the flats from blowing off. Yesterday I had 10 flats out here and they all fit when I doubled them over like this. I was shocked. Before I was hanging them so that hardly any of it was doubled over, but they dried just plenty fast, doubled over like this, so I can fit a lot more on here this way. Alright, everyone is clipped on. Then I just take my octopus here. This is from IKEA. Has my covers and my fleece liners and any wipes. And I was just clipping, yesterday I actually clipped him on my swing set, which I'm going to go do that again because he stayed on there. I don't want him to blow my rack over. And that is it. Yesterday and the days past, on a windy day like this when it's really hot, I think it's like almost 90 here today, maybe 80, 85, they dry in like no time at all, maybe an hour or less. I don't check them and they're dry when I come back and check them. So I've been enjoying getting outside and just drying them off. I'm totally not in frame here, but yeah, it really hasn't been too bad. It's just the finding time to wash them around kids not napping and things. That's been a challenge. So thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel.